Hello, it's Calvin here again from the Health Info channel, so-called Health Info channel, but I do a lot of research on an awful lot of stuff. Why it is called the Health Info channel is because of many years ago went to expose stuff, the alternatives for cancer and stuff like that, and the government still got people believing that there is no other way. Although they have released, you type in, look in the rest of my channel, and there's a news item up there. I mean, it even had, I believe it was Lloyd Robertson or whatever, the news director in 2008. They were saying about, well, yeah, the cure's been found, but it's too cheap, you know, like lots out there. Anyway, today I just want to give my take, you know, on the information provided by NASA about the moon landing. To me, it doesn't really make sense, and it's not making sense to a lot of people either. How that could even be possible back in that day when, like one guy says, you can go to the Walmart and buy a $10 watch that's got more computing power than what they had back then. So anyway, just figured I'd give you a little bit of my take on this. You know, I was hit with the fact that this flat earth thing a couple of years ago, and I kind of laughed at it like they do on most places. Everybody laughs at it. I laughed too. And then when I started studying, I shook my head and I says, you know what? I'm upset. So anyway, kind of got over it. Then the Mandela effect came up. Bothered me a lot. Got other videos up on that, about that too. But anyway, people are claiming that NASA has lied, and I just want to give you my take on why I think that the moon landings could not have been possible. Just from not from what they're telling me. You know, they're saying that, well, the rocket never had enough fuel to get up there. You know, to go all the way to the moon. You know, like they're telling me stuff. But my own logic, I look at my own thoughts of things and what I see in front of me, you know. An investigator looks at facts, not speculations. You know, it has to be objective. It has to be something hard and fast. Anyway, no, I'm just going to go to the screen here. I look at a lot of different things that people have put up. It talks about reasons why people believe that the landing is a hoax. I mean, there's so much here. And the lander itself, excuse me, see if we can see the screen a little bit better here. There, it's lightening up now. You know, apparently the pictures show no dust on these landing pads. Shadows seem to fall the wrong directions when from the pictures I see. This whole buggy they have up there, this whole thing. You know what my opinion is, did they have a trailer hitch on the back of the rocket? Like, that's a lot of junk to haul up there. And you know what? If these are solid tires with no air in them, that's a lot of weight to carry. You know, and a vehicle with tubes in them, if you did hit a vacuum, if it did have air in it, the tires would actually probably blow up because you're taking away the air pressure that it leaves with from Earth, and that's a lot of. Like I say, that's a big thing. Now, okay, how did they heat and cool their suits? For one thing, you know, I mean, apparently there's lots of heat, really cold. I don't know, but you know, and how did they recycle the air in these things? Like, so much I don't think was even invented back then that could even do anything like this. You know, and take a buggy up there, and they're transmitting signals from, like, they got a little wee tiny dish on these things pointing up. It's supposed to be sending signals back to Earth, 250,000 miles or something, and got to go all the way from there on the moon that's spinning, and it ends up coming in through an atmosphere that we have here that reflects radio waves. You know what? We have, well, I'm just saying, I'm not saying what we have up there. I don't know. All I know that when I had CB radios, I could turn the beam. You know, the beam could be like vertical that would send the signal this way. When the beam, they flattened the beam out and they shot the beam up against the atmosphere on an angle, it would come down, it would bounce down. So all I'm saying is there's something up there that bounces signals off of it. Okay, so now, how much power do they have in that little wee tiny dish? You know, like, and okay, you're leaving the Earth. You're going on a long journey. How much battery power did it take to run that equipment even inside the space station? Lights, whatever they had in there, you know, and where did they go to the bathroom? Was it all this stuff invented? Like, you know, lots of stuff was not even really talked about or shown. They never showed us any direct pictures. They never showed us any video of them doing anything like that inside the so-called capsule. And another thing, like I say, when they get out on of a space station anywhere, they don't. Nobody's ever panned the camera right around to show the whole thing. You know, that says to me a movie set. That says to me possibly they're in a tank of water. And with all the round Earth images, that suggests to me CGI or a green screen, you know, like, I don't know. But what really, like I say, what really gets me is they take this big dune buggy all the way out into space somehow, you know, on one of their many trips, and how do they run it? Like, you know, like, how much batteries does it take? You know, we got one of those little kids' cars the kids run around with in the yard. It's got a battery in it. And those are modern batteries. They hold charge a lot longer. Still, that little battery goes a little ways, but it sure ain't going to take you very far. You know, like, and to charge that battery, you wanted to charge that battery on a solar panel that was big enough to put on anything. You know, what do you got? Charge it for 2 days, you know, maybe if you had a little panel on there to get enough to run it for 10 minutes, you know, maybe 10 minutes at the most. But, you know, there's just so much stuff out there. There's all kinds of moon landing hoax. William Cooper, fake moon landing, conspiracy theories. This lander, you know, like it doesn't appear structurally strong enough to be doing what they say it done, you know. The shadows are out of whack on the thing, on the pictures they send back. There's just so much stuff out there. Like I say, here's a picture of the cart. A little wee umbrella antenna. That's gonna shoot it to the Earth, right? It sure will. You know, at 250,000 miles. 250,000 miles. That is a long ways, and there's no way you could put the technology today with their microwave and everything. Never mind their old analog stuff. You put microwave into this little antenna, like and put some power on it. I don't think you're gonna shoot 500 miles, even with a real properly designed antenna with Wi-Fi, microwave capabilities, and a fair amount of power. You know, I mean, they can send the signal. Now they're saying, well, okay, we got these little dish like this, smaller than that actually on your house. It is a Wi-Fi uplinks they have for so-called satellite Wi-Fi. And they say they got a big space station up there. Space station, but a big satellite. And you look at the images of that big satellite that they're so-called bouncing many signals off for everybody that signs on to this thing. And they show it in a hangar, and it's huge. So now they're taking this, apparently, they're putting this thing that everybody built in America, they're putting it on a big plane, and they're sending it over to Russia. and they're putting it on one of their little rockets and sending it up through into through the stratosphere, exosphere, whatever, and they're putting it in a thermosphere. And the thermosphere is supposed to be like, goes like 3,000 degrees Celsius or centigrade or 4,500 Fahrenheit or something, real hot. And aluminum, I know, melts at like 1,200 and something degrees. And what about solar panels? I mean, you got lead on those, you know, like soldering everything together. What's that? That melts at very cool temperatures, you know, like. But anyway, it's different, all right. And I just keep going through things, you know. There's Neil Armstrong, you know. I mean, and if these astronauts actually did land on the moon, people have asked them to swear on the Bible that they did land. Now, if I did land on the moon, there would be no argument about that. I mean, I would swear on a stack of Bibles. I would write out affidavits and make statements, you know, saying that, you know, it was true, if it in fact happened. And lots of these guys, they wouldn't even comment on it. People refused to swear on the Bible, and, you know, got angry. I don't know. It's just, did NASA lie? I don't think they told the truth. I think they've been caught lying a number of times. Now, if they've lied about this moon landing, oh, well, here you got a stage set up here. Here's the director in the back. Well, I think that's what really happened. I just, to myself, that's what I believe. And I guess I'm entitled to my opinion. Oh, anyway, Abandoned America, proof of fake moon landing. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just go through some of these slides. They bring up a little bit evocative. They bring up some thoughts to myself. You know, landing totally hoaxed. The flag, you know, like when we seen pictures of this thing, apparently it was fluttering in a breeze. Not supposed to be any wind on the moon. I don't know. I think it's just a given it was a big hoax. And how many times did they say they went there? And you know what? In all these years, how many years has that been? 50 years? And they never been back? That's like saying, well, the Wright brothers flew a plane for, 50 feet or whatever it was. And they never flew again. They never ever tried to fly again. Like right away, people were flying, you know. People cross the ocean. Right away, people are crossing the ocean. People invent something. People use it. And that's what I'm seeing anyway. So, I don't know. There's... okay, NASA moon landing conspiracy, the hoax, full video, hoax, moon landing, you know, well, yeah, here's a movie set again. Like I say, these little antennas that they're showing on there, it just didn't make sense, you know, like, and, shadows falling different directions on the earth. The guys inspected videos and stuff like that. You know, it just, I don't know. Kind of a, I think it's a lie, you know, my opinion. I don't know, how did they get all that cart and everything down there, you know, it just seemed like, they didn't tell people a lot. People seen the first moon landing and they didn't seem to question anymore that, oh yeah, they can go there, now they can take go-karts with them, or dune buggies and golf clubs and pick up piles of rocks, and, you know, I'm telling you, when you listen to the information, you listen to the people talk, I don't know. If I was 250,000 miles away from my home planet, and I had some air tanks and some batteries and stuff like that, I don't think there would be security in my voice. I think there would be fear, you know, and never got that. They're golfing away on the moon there. And they're going, strolling in the park one day. Yeah. Wow, that's a stroll in the park, all right. Yeah. Oh, well. I'm just having trouble believing all this, you know, And if you look into it, you look into the what's happening now. You know, like I say, we got these little Wi-Fi dishes on our houses. If you got satellite like uplink for your Wi-Fi, and it's a small dish, just like a Bell dish, and that thing, they say, is shooting up to satellites that are sitting in a troposphere, or thermosphere, by the way, that is very, very, very hot, and they're 22,000 miles up, and going around the Earth. They're running on batteries and solar panels, and at night, half the time they'd be sitting in the shade, not even charging the batteries. And our little dish is shooting up into the sky on an angle, just like shortwave ham and CB used to do, where they used to bounce a signal back to the Earth, and you could talk, 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles to somebody else who was bouncing off something up there. Yet now they're shooting a signal up, and it's going through that, whatever it was, and it's hitting a satellite on an angle. It's 22,000 miles away. And the modem that they're sending the power on is your house modem. It's regular, just a modem. My sister's got one. The lights flicker, the same thing. You put your hand on it, it's same like the one downstairs. Now, not warm. May get a little bit of heat off the thing, but it can't be putting any more than a few watts. So you're putting a few watts into that Wi-Fi dish. You know how big it's just like a Bell dish, and it's going to bounce way out, go past that reflective whatever was throwing signals down before, and it's going to hit a satellite that's 22,000 miles up. That satellite is going to, it's stationary too, it doesn't move, it'll stay in one spot all the time, and that's going to send this signal, relay it all the way back down to the Earth to jump from place to place, and no problem. I have never heard of any one of their satellites so far. I don't hear them being hit by these micrometeorites they're saying up there. I don't see the batteries having to be changed in them. I don't, they claim that there's many, like hundreds or whatever, there's satellites up there, maybe more, thousands. I don't know. You can look it up. But they say there's so many up there, but basically, do they have a repair crew running around up there all the time? You know what? If I got out of a space station up there, first thing I would be doing is taking my cell phone and I'd be going around circles. Eh? And it's Wi-Fi. Okay. Now, a Wi-Fi signal, they say, well, it's line of sight. Okay. Now, if a little dish can shoot a satellite and go through this belts, or whatever it is, through this radiation and through this reflective, whatever, reflecting the signal back down, and hit that satellite, and come all the way back 22,000 miles. Now they claim that the space station is only up maybe 250 miles. Wow. There should be no problem with any of those satellites just transmitting, or from that space station they call it, transmitting up and down video all the time. Anybody should be able to grab their phones. Everybody should be grabbing their phones and pointing them out the windows, and I don't see that. I watched on the videos, I watched that that Hatfield guy. He was singing on the satellite, and he was an entertainer, Hatfield. He was supposed to be up there on this space station. And one time I watched him, and you'll find the videos up there too. I watched the guy say, they ask him, oh, what's the sky look like up there? And he's looking up, the sky is lit up like the stars of the universe lighted up. And then I'm watching him in another interview they put back to back, and it says, he's saying, talking to a school or kids or some other interview, and he says, they asked, what's the sky look like up there? And they said, well, he said, it's dark, it's deep dark, it's like a black velvet, And then I listen to other people saying up there, oh, the sky, oh, it's light, it's light. And then next guy saying the sky, oh, it's dark, it's deep dark. Excuse me, everybody's up there and nobody knows what the sky looks like. That's amazing. Just amazing. But anyway, I think we have other issues on this earth to worry about right now. I mean, we could argue whether satellites exist. We could argue whether the moon landing made it or not. There are all these trips to the moon. We could argue that the earth is flat. We could argue that it's round. We could say that the Mandela effect doesn't exist. Or we can say that, we could say it was our consciousness making it happen. All these things are, we could argue about them all day long, but it doesn't take us really anywhere. It takes us into loggerheads with people that we're going to be arguing with all the time. And I don't think it matters, because we're on this earth. Our days are getting short. We have been warned that, through the Bible and science say that something's going to go wrong. It's not just the Bible. We've been warned by people that are looking after the power grid. I have a friend who retired 2 years ago from the hydro. He worked for Ontario Hydro. He was watching a thing there showing him on the computer that they were saying that the power grid is antiquated and they don't have they don't have sufficient big transformers and stuff if anything could happen. And they're talking about they talk about a solar flare, some kind of a energy surge that that hit the earth back in the 1800s when they had just telegraph, and they said that caused telegraph lines to burn, and people got shocked working on equipment. People wouldn't work in the telegraph offices, and so if something like that hit, whether it's something from the sun, whether it's something from the universe, if the universe exists out there as we're hearing it, if that ever hit, and knocked out our power, we're in trouble, boys. We better think about not worrying so much about the little things and start thinking about, well, holy crap, we got something coming here, that it's going to be awful hard to deal with. If our power grid went out today across North America, we would be in trouble. No water coming to your house, no stores open, no gas, no electricity working in your house, nothing. No place to go shopping, nowhere to get gas to go anywhere. Anyway, so what would you do? Well, I've become an advocate over the years of prepping a little bit. When this 2012 thing happened, it talked about Nibiru and all this scare tactics and prepare, and Nostradamus and all these things of fear that said to prepare. But I'm telling you, right now, people are not prepared again. People have been ignoring all that. People are looking at this stuff. They're looking at all this, arguing about flat Earth and whether they lied to us or not. I don't care if they lied to us or not. That's not going to matter if a big problem happens on this Earth. So, if it happened that the power went out for a long period of time, there would be no fire suppression equipment. There would be no gas. There would be no way of fighting fires. One thing too, I mean, your neighbors, first of all, are starving to death. Their kids are starving. They're going to come and see you. They're going to come and see you, and take what you got. Maybe kill you. People turn into animals when they're hungry and their children are starving. People will get what they gotta get, and they get it if they have to kill for it. And you've got to believe that. That's the way it is. Your nice neighbor might turn into the zombie. I don't know what you want to call it. But we should know our neighbors. That's why I've become an advocate of the steep tea line. I'm not actually signed into it. I got my friends to sign into it. I drink tea. I like tea. And when you look at the facts, if there is a big problem on this earth and the grid goes down, if you're a little bit prepared, you got some flour, sugar, rice, a little bit of staples, a wood stove, some wood, maybe some solar panels, some batteries, a little bit, generator and some gas, or some way of making fuel. I mean, you can run on alcohol. You can distill stuff outside, and you can make alcohol enough to run a generator. But if you had the basic staples, a way of keeping warm, a way of cooking something, even in the wintertime, if you had flour, if you had some rice, and you had some sugar, maybe some potatoes, a little bit of basics. There's not a lot of nutrients in like rice and stuff like that. But if, in fact, a person has access to multiple different types of teas, from all over the place, you could live healthy. If you don't have teas, and all you had was flour, sugar, and maybe rice, and a way to cook it up somehow, you would be suffering malnutrition real soon. Especially with no greens and no vegetables and nothing that you could get, you'd be suffering, malnutrition really bad, really fast. Scurvy would be setting in if you didn't have a way of getting your vitamin C or your nutrients, which I'm telling you, you can get them right in the wintertime, right from outside, from the, like go find a different trees, spruce, or I think the natives used the black spruce cones or something. When all the sailors that came over to Americas were having scurvy, boil them up some tea and the scurvy's gone. It's vitamin C. Cedar, very heavy. I mean, a few cedar boughs in the tea, and you got your nutrients. But if you have a whole variety of different teas, you'll stay healthy. You'll stay healthy on basic staples. Now you look at some of those countries where they lived on tea, and I mean, like rice and fish. That's all they had. So they had the omega-3s, and they had rice. Okay, rice is a grain product. It's carbohydrates, but lots of times that's all they lived on. But they had teas. They had all different teas. They stayed healthy. You never heard them getting cancer. They didn't die. They thrived. So that's basically where I'm going with my videos. As I say, people are arguing all about this flat earth and the Mandela effect, which, man, the Mandela effect bothered me too, and I got some other videos up there on this thing. But largely it's a distraction, moving us away from where we are at right now in this life. I mean, personally, I'm taking some actions here to make people aware of what is going on, and to say, what, if a big disaster like that happens, everything's shut down. Big disaster happens like that, most of the population on this world will die if the power goes off. Other than third world countries that know how to live like that, they'll survive, probably not bad. But if something happens and the power grid goes down, there's no fire suppression equipment. So, in fact, what's going to happen in cities? One house starts to go on fire, what happens? Nobody come put out a fire. What's going to happen? The whole city will burn down. Look at out in Alberta there a couple of years ago. Man, North Battleford or whatever. Most of the city went, or lots of the city, and it was all new homes. And new homes are not, they were spaced usually farther apart, and then you got the older homes that are sitting right beside each other, sometimes touching each other's eaves are touching. If one of those things catches fire, cities will burn. But anyway, for the survivors, for the ones that do prepare a little bit or do survive, which I think will be very, very difficult, I don't really want to be here through that. I'm hoping if there is a rapture of something, if there is a fact that God can step in and take us away, take me away, man, take me away. I don't want to go through that, But If I have to, I have to, and that's the way it is. So people should have a prepared mind of some kind. You know, be a prepared mind of some kind. But anyway, that's basically where we're going with this. And like I say, I found a steep tea line that it's called Steep Tea, and it's a very, very good product. Anyway, we're gonna look through. Okay, and there's all kinds of stuff up there on the Steep Tea. Keyboard here. If you just type in, we'll go to Google. Google. Oops. And we'll type in Steep Tea. Come on. Let's just go home. Hang on. Steep Tea. Steep Tea. And there's a flip book here. I mean, you can go on this right online and look through their Steep Tea catalog, you know, and the stuff that they have in this thing. Computer's running a little slow, and that's okay. Okay, catalogs. Now here is a catalog. It's just called Steep Tea. This is their flip book. You can go through this flip book right online. Oh, let's go. Where's she gonna go here? Oh, we gotta click on the flip book first. Sorry. Here we go. Steep Tea Spring Summer 2017 loading. Let's just bring this in a little bit. Oh, I got so many of the windows open here. It'll take a minute to load. Okay, here comes the Steep Tea line. Now there's so much stuff in this Steep Tea line. It's a little book, and you can sign on to this thing for like $100. You know, it's 99 bucks plus shipping and stuff like that. Shipping and tax. Okay, as you go through the book, see it flips nicely online. And it gives introductions and different types of teas. If you look at, it's got dandelion tea in there. It's got turmeric tea. There's so many different. There's all kinds of root teas and stuff. Now, if you look up dandelion, they're claiming that that's a root is a cure for cancer. Turmeric, they're claiming, is a cure for cancer. They have all these teas. Now, I'd suggest, blueberries. They got all kinds of. I don't even see what's up there. Anyway, you look at this thing, and go through it slowly online. Look at the amounts of stuff that they have in here. Okay, organic teas. There's all kinds of different teas. You can look them up online. Look this up. I suggest you sign up to it. I suggest that you know, do something. Get something. I mean, you know, there's even ordinary tea is okay. But if something happens, this is really good. Okay, we got the beets. Okay, yeah, look up beets. Look up beet cancer cure, right? And carrots. There's so much stuff out there. Veggie teas. Let's flip through this thing. We'll go through this book because it's going to take a while. They got all kinds of different stuff for, you know, cups and stuff like that too. And stuff for brewing the teas. Meet your matcha. Okay, they got a bunch of different matchas. They got equipment like different things for blending it and mixing it and steeping it. And they got matcha more ways. Different ways, different recipes and stuff. Lots of fancy stuff too. But the real thing is, okay, they got fruit teas. Fruit teas, you know, like all kinds of fruit teas. You know what? If you got the stuff, you'll fare fine. You know, and who's gonna come and take your tea? Hey, they're looking for something. Really, they can eat. Eh? Well, that's the way I look at it. Anyway, we're just gonna keep flipping through here, just for a minute if you want. Yeah, let's chill. You know, like and the way that this thing's put together, it's done like a multiple level thing, where when you get involved, you have tea parties. People have tea parties. They get to know the neighbors. They get to know products. They get to talk about health, and they get to watch videos and stuff. Because there's so many people putting up videos on this thing there that you got all your research done, basically done for you. Black teas. They got all kinds of different black teas. And they explain, if you go to videos on the teas, you'll find all these people and, teaching about what the teas are, what they're good for. So, like I say, there's lots out there. Oolong teas. It's just amazing stuff. Yeah. White teas. Green teas. This just tons of stuff on it. Host rewards. I mean, there's good benefits to this stuff too. Like, if you do decide to run it as a business, you could do that too. And I think it's 35% up to 35% you're making product markup on direct sales, and even if you just host a party, you're getting benefits too. It doesn't cost you nothing to host a party. You invite a few friends, you get somebody to come in and do the presentation and have a little tea and sit around and talk and watch videos, and you get gifts and stuff too. There's benefits to it. Here, herbal teas, and lots of them too. Like I say, the nutrients in this stuff is just to use root teas. All kinds of stuff, man. All kinds of stuff, and fancy things as sales things and to work with. Nice stuff, really nice stuff. Purple and lime, yeah, they got little collections of different stuff, and they're getting bigger too, and they're in the States now also, this line of teas. Yeah. But yeah, there's lots of stuff in this book, man. Lots of stuff, things for baking and yeah, get spicy. There's just lots of stuff, and when you type in you type in this and you type in steep tea into YouTube, you'll find all kinds of people talking about what it's done for them, how good the products are, and some of them are they're making money at it. Some of them are enjoying themselves, finding people. You don't even know who your neighbors are most of the time. Who do you trust? Is that guy beside you? Is he a axe murderer, or is he somebody like an angel that would help you out in any area that you needed? And by getting to know these people, your neighbors, if you got personal problems, even if there was no disaster, and you got some personal problems and you have sorted out the neighbors, you can go to your neighbor, and your neighbor that will help you, and you will help them. It's a reciprocal thing. We must do this stuff now if we're going to survive. Excuse me, my dog is barking there a little bit. Okay, and they got success stories about people that haven't been in it very long, and these people got videos up there, and they're doing a lot of stuff. And there's your index, and there's the back of the book. Okay, so anyway, I'd suggest you take a little look at it. I put a link down there to my friends. Oh, they even provide you a free website for a while. So you're partnering directly with them if somebody signs up or buys something from your product line. If you sign up to this thing, you're partnering with them. If they provide you a website even, so that people can go in the shop, that's what I'm seeing here. A very organized business, and it's just another little thing a person should have in their storehouse. Right? So anyway, that is my whole yak for today, and I wish you well. I hope that our world holds together, and I hope, pray that everything, that we all live on, and, in the Sodom and Gomorrah world, as I call it now, and God doesn't push the button, and just poof, like I think he might pretty soon. I'm seeing too much going down right now. And we can only try our best to look after ourselves and save ourselves and help the people. But if a big enough disaster hits, we're done. We're done. So, but anyway, we should at least try to help, inform the people, if nothing else. Give people the keys to do something so they can feel like they're at least trying, Anyway, thank you for watching again today, and I appreciate you people, subscribing to my channel, and give a thumbs up if you respect my efforts. I'm no showman. I'm just a guy here trying to guide people along as I've done through my entire life. And I got some kicks in the butt from trying to help people too. Lots of times, You give them a hand and they kick you in the butt. Oh well, move on to the next. You grow calluses down there after a while. Okay, take it easy. Love you folks. Take care.